It's interesting you say oftentimes that 5%er won't show up. I have a discussion in Elevate Your Leadership, and it's performance versus behavior. And, quite simply, high performance, high behavior, that's what you're looking for. Behavior is moral and ethical character. And you want high moral and ethical character and high performance. And like you said, what do you do with a person like that? You give them more work. you reward them, right? You give them more work, you keep them hungry, you keep them on the team doing great things. And the opposite of that is also easy. Low performance, low behavior. See ya. How did you get through the hiring process? But as soon as you identify that, you gotta show those low performers, low behaving people the door as quickly as possible. Because at the end of the day, that low behavior is poison. That low behavior is something that will literally spread and infect the rest of the people in your organization. Where it becomes tricky, so low behavior across the board, see you later. Where it becomes tricky is when you have high behavior and low performance. They're a good person, good moral and ethical character, but they're not performing up to the task. Well, that kind of goes back to what you said earlier. We
And we do
train.
problem solving.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it may not even be a training issue. It might be a fit issue. It could be a number of things.
Yeah.
But what you talk to them as an adult, and you're concerned for them, and you're clear about the fact that the performance isn't. They know their performance isn't where it needs to be. They're
Yeah.
coming to work every day knowing that's true. Allowing that to continue and the stress of that for that person, it's so much better to just directly say, look, I mean, there's a big gap here in terms of expectations and your performance. Tell me what's going on and see if you can't find out what the cause of it is. Unfortunately, most of our leaders haven't been used to asking lots of questions. They're used to being problem solvers.
Right.
And
I had to
we
go through an adjustment there as well, by the way. I'm a recovered problem solver.
Well, I think we all want to. I mean, it's a natural desire to try to solve a problem, and it's not the most effective in developing people. So as leaders, we need to be problem solving facilitators.
Right.
So we need to be asking the questions and trying to get at what the causes are, and getting the employee to peel back the layers. And maybe they've got something going on at home. Maybe there's just a disconnect with in terms of another coworker. There could be so many reasons why someone's not performing.
Let's say in that discussion, somebody says, my significant other, my spouse and I are going through some challenging, troubling times right now. When they reveal that, what's the appropriate action or response from the leader at that point, now that you've really uncovered the root cause?
Clarifying the expectations again and saying, well, what do you think can be done about it? We still need the performance, yet I seriously understand, that you're going through a tough time. I want to be supportive of that as well. What ideas do you have to solve this? You continue to push it back on that person to solve. And if you wait, they'll come up with something. Now, they may ask you for a couple days off, or they may ask for something else, but don't offer it. If you think it's reasonable, absolutely give it.
Mm-hmm.
But don't be the problem solver again.
Yeah.
Force them to be the problem solver. I dealt with that many times with single moms with childcare issues.
Uh-huh.
And absenteeism. And the thing I had to do is say, I remember one woman saying to me, she was gone a lot, and to be fair, I don't think it was all child related, but I don't know that for sure. But when I talked to her, I said, your management is very frustrated with you. She came to me and I said, your management's very frustrated with you, and I said, you've got to find some kind of a plan B when these things happen, because you're needed here at work. And she said, well, I'll tell you what, if something happens to my child at school and I need to be off, that child comes first. I said, I totally understand that. I just want you to know that you're making a choice when you do that. And sometimes that was a very traditional company where they had, the progressive discipline stuff.
Yeah.
It was already in the third stage. And, I wasn't in any kind of position to do more with her. And she would have fallen into that group of people who was not taking accountability. It was sort of like, I'm going to be off if I'm going to be off. And versus the person who really wanted to be there, but didn't really have any backup plans where you could have worked with her.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Once
So,
again, using your manual against you.
yeah, using your manual against you. And so what you want to do is just probe for the cause, and always keep in mind that the person you're talking to is an adult. They
Sure.
drive a car, they get on the highways, they rent, they own homes, they pay taxes. These are people who make life decisions. And yet when they walk through the door, somehow we believe that they're not capable of solving a performance issue.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. I guess because we're afraid then we won't have any role as managers.
Yeah, right. Right.